All right. Now, this is a copy of The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, and it's in pretty bad shape. I found it in, this old bookstore, and, you know, it is what it is. It's in bad shape. It has seen some wear and tear. I think this one is from the 60s. But anyway, the appearance doesn't matter. It's the content, and of course, the content is superb. This book is one of the greatest because even though, let's face it, the plot doesn't really go anywhere, right? What you have here is a brilliantly written character, a protagonist that, well, how do you define him? He just captivates you. Of course, this is Holden Caulfield, right? And of course, this is a writer that knows how to do character, even though the plot doesn't go anywhere. You keep on reading because you just want to know what this guy's thinking, where he's going, what he's doing, etc. Because, of course, pretty much everyone would like to have someone like Holden in their lives, and that's how you write brilliant characters. You have to make your reader, and this is advice for writers, you have to make your reader relate to at least one character. One character has to stand out. That's how you make likable characters, okay? They are flawed, they are twisted in some cases, they have dark thoughts, they do bad things sometimes. But still, they have a piece of humanity, they have humor, and they have personality and individuality, and it is relatable. You just want to grab Holden by the shoulder and just tell him, it's gonna be all right, bro. Calm down. It's not the end of the world. And of course, he's just, he's still a kid, and he doesn't know any better. And and of course, this is a different time, right? And you got this kid that's running around by himself in the dead of night in New York. It's just, he's desperate. He cannot connect with people. You know, he tries to, but he doesn't succeed. And obviously, something there's a lot of things here that are just subtle. They are covert. They barely make it to the surface, and even when they do, you're left with too many questions and not a lot of answers. Right? There's, of course, if you read a Perfect Day for Banana Fish, right? Of course, the same kind of story where just you just get a little bit of info that rises to the surface, and everything else is just a mystery. The same with this. We get a lot of crumbs to follow here, but we cannot picture the whole story because we don't know what really happened. What's his deal, of course. And I just want to say this: what really uh, stood out to me here, and I don't really hear this being mentioned a lot, is listen. Holden, he goes to one of his former teachers, and he, takes a nap, and this dude, he's a creeper, and he just tries to do something, okay, and Holden has of course, the normal reaction. He gets the fuck out of there. And what stood out to me, and I don't hear this being mentioned a lot, is Holden says, this happens to me pretty often, right? Meaning that older dudes come on to him like, bro, have you been molested multiple times? And you just shrug it off. It's like, you need an adult, bro. You need to tell somebody. You need to shape up and stop moping around and stop whining and stop feeling sorry for yourself, and you need to do something about this. Because he's in this depressed state in a way. He doesn't really care that much that I don't know, is he molested, is he, what's happening here. you know he says this used to happen a lot to him, and it's staggering. You need to wake the fuck up, Holden, and you need to tell somebody. That just stood out to me, and of course there's a lot to this. I don't, and let me tell you, I don't really get his deal about this. Of course, this is about a coming of age thing, right? But I don't get it. He imagines himself being the catcher in the rye, and he imagines himself, trying to catch the younger children so they don't fall off the cliff. Which means, of course, they're gonna age and turn into adults, right? And it's just, I guess that's one way of looking at it. This catcher in the rye, he's the one who tries to catch the children in the field, whatever. And it's just, that's what I got from it. Maybe there are other interpretations of this, but it's just, listen, bro. I'm talking to Holden right now. Listen, bro. You just gotta accept it, okay? You cannot stop this. Pretty much everybody, turns into an annoying, tiring adult. That's what happens. You grow the fuck up, you go to your job, and you become boring, okay? Something that that precious spark of childhood, that innocence, okay, that goes away. That is a part of growing up. That is a part of just living life, okay? You cannot remain a child forever, right? That's what I would tell them. Okay, listen. There's nothing you can do about it. This cannot be stopped. Okay, this should not be the focus of your mind. You need to you need to do something about yourself because you are indifferent to your state, right? He obviously has some problems, whatever they may be, related to his family, related to his friends, right? He doesn't, there's a disconnect between him and other people, which most of us can relate to, and when he tries to, get close to people in his way, he ends up cracking these jokes, which are hilarious, okay? Which are hilarious. But still, he cannot breach that distance. And, that's pretty much it. This is a good example of understanding your character. This book is a great exercise for other writers. This is great research material, okay? This is how you write good characters. This is what makes them human, all right? This is why we are invested so much in this book, in this in Salinger's work, because he manages to create these people that seem so real, and they have these. Uh, to me, they are, I don't know. Some of their problems are insignificant to me, right? I would just sit them down and say, "Listen, bro, this is nothing. Okay, you're so young. Listen, you just gotta move on. Okay, you gotta detach. You cannot take all of these little puny problems so seriously. All right, whatever happens, you just cannot be so affected by it. Okay, that is the reaction of a child, of an immature person. All right, of course you got. Maybe I'll do a review about it too, about Franny and Zoe, which, of course, the problem. I mean, in a way, spirituality or religion, maybe they're important to some people, but to me, while I was reading that, I was like, listen, bro, listen, whatever. Why are you so affected about this, right? It's no big deal. And of course, this is brilliantly written in this, where most people, they something minor happens to them, whatever it may be, right? And they just take it so personally. They just are so deeply affected by them, right? And it's just, listen, you cannot go back to that innocence of childhood. People will not always be good to you, no matter how good you are to them, right? You gotta move on. You gotta face forward and just find something in life that will keep you passionate, basically. You know. But Holden, he doesn't have someone like that, and of course, I didn't have anyone to tell me this type of advice, and I'm sure you didn't have it when you needed it at that age. What is he? 15, 16. You know, he goes to a hotel with a prostitute, but he just wants to talk, etc. and so on. Yeah, he's still a kid in some ways, and that's not a bad thing. Take your time, go about life at your own pace. Stop being so melodramatic or so nostalgic, so melancholic, so down in the pits. All right, it is what it is, and of course you are gonna be affected by it. But after it happens over and over again, to me, one day I just said, whatever, I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself because of these people that treat me like I'm, a third wheel, right? And I just bounced, boy. I just found my own groove. And of course, Holden has some problems. He has some issues that we don't really know if he are they even addressed at the end, because he's in an institution, but is he getting better? Who knows? We can't really say, right? Um, that's pretty much it for The Catcher in the Rye. Again, a brilliant novel. It shows that you don't have to have a thick book or a complicated plot or a, a large cast of characters, right? You just have to focus. You just have to. You don't have to write to please an audience you don't even know. You have to write what you would like to read, right? And that's what I do. That's the best advice that I can give. If you're writing something that it's not fun for you in any way, that it doesn't affect you in any way, that there's no use. You toss that away. Start over. You gotta write what you're passionate about, and it can be about it. Listen, if you look at this superficially, this is just a banal little story. Some kid walks around, wanders around New York, cracks some jokes, has a cocktail, smokes some cigars, blah blah blah. End of story. But of course, there's something special about this. That's why this little book, has withstood the test of time, because this is fabulous writing. Where how can you be so invested in this kid's anguish, in his agony? You know, he is all alone. He is on the brink of devastation almost, right? But that's the whole book. He just wanders around, and in a way, he feels sorry for himself, and etc. But J.D. Salinger does it in such a way, in such a subtle, excellent way, that you're just captured. You're captivated. You just want more. And before I end this, right, listen, I just want to say, um, he stopped publishing after, I don't know, the late 50s or whatever, and there's this rumor going around that there are two rumors. One, that in the future couple of years, they're gonna start publishing some of his unpublished work, because he kept on writing. Right, we got at least another 50 years of unpublished work. But then you have another rumor which says that they're gonna start publishing his unknown work somewhere like maybe 100 years after his death. I think he died in 2013 or something like that. And then the question is, first of all, is mankind still gonna be here in 100 years? Secondly, I mean, sure, he is an amazing writer. He is spectacular. He is one of a kind, right? Of course, but still, I mean, a hundred plus years of nothing, and then who's gonna care about this, bro? Who's gonna care about this in 100 years? And I'm like, you better start publishing this now. In 100 years, nobody's gonna fucking give a rat's ass about J.D. Salinger. You don't know what the future is gonna be like, bro. Right? But that's about it. That's just my little rant about that. Back to the book. This is a must read for everybody. Some people they trash talk this, but they're not attentive enough. They cannot grasp the uh, the essence of this book. If you're gonna read this and just gonna assume that this is just some whiny teenager that's just roaming around and blah blah blah, you don't understand what this is all about. This is about subtlety. This is the part about the kid just wandering around. That's 10% of the book. You gotta read between the lines what's going on here. There's a reason why this has withstood the test of time, and why readers keep coming to this over generation after generation, because this speaks to a lot of people, because this expresses what most of us felt at that age, at that agony, that depression, that sadness of being alone and being, almost forgotten, and so on, and just feeling like we don't belong, etc. And there's more to this, okay? This is one of a kind. This is a must read for everybody, for writers and for readers. This is a must read, right? This is phenomenal. Catcher in the Rye. Keep on reading good books like this, because listen, this is one of my tops. This is a beloved, all right? This is a friend, this book. You have to read it. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. It's special. It's special. But I can't tell you why. You have to pick it up and read it, and then you will understand why it is so unique and loved by so many people. Generation after generation. Pick it up. Pick it up now. Put your phone down. Stop playing Fall Guys or whatever. Alright? Put those down. Pick this up. It is phenomenal. Keep on reading good books. See ya.